This is Talk What You Know Sports. I'm your host, The Ghost, greatest host of sports talk, where we talk sports topics to the grave. I want to present my 5 takeaways from this past weekend in sports. Let's start with the U.S. Open 2019 at Arthur Ashe Stadium, where Rafael Nadal defeated Daniil to get his 19th Grand Slam victory to add on to his legendary career. And in the women's set, there was an upset again of Serena Williams, this time losing to Bianca Andreescu. Serena was trying to get her 24th Grand Slam, tying the record, but Bianca had other ideas, winning her first U.S. Open Grand Slam. So again, Serena, who's trying to chase the record, has now lost 4 straight majors in the last 2 years to 4 different opponents. Serena, of course, has a legendary career still in the making, still not concluded, but one has to wonder, with Serena not being able to get the job done over the last 2 years and breaking the record, one has to think that maybe Serena's time is winding down quicker than what she may believe or what many others may believe, her fans. But we shall see. Serena is not going to give up. She's not going to quit. She's going to continue to push to get the record. So we'll just see. But for now, it just seemed like that record is so far away from Serena as she's pursuing to break the record. Let's go to college football, where we have some movement in the top 10 after this past weekend's games. Pretty much the Clemson Tigers and the Alabama Crimson Tide, they took care of business this weekend. The University of Georgia also took care of business. But just to jump to the University of Michigan, who out of the top 10 teams was the one to really struggle this weekend, surprisingly to Army. Now, Army does have a good team, but with Michigan being ranked number 7 and at home in Ann Arbor, that was supposed to have been a cupcake kind of a game. But the University of Michigan, again, struggling to make a statement against lesser opponents. And you have to wonder, is the pressure on Harbaugh already, or is it just a fluke and the players are still just trying to find themselves? But they better find themselves quickly because the Big Ten season is right around the corner. They do have the University of Wisconsin coming up on the schedule, so that is going to be a tough one, as the Badgers are always tough. Just to continue to talk about the top 10, there are 5 SEC teams, the Southeastern Conference that is, in the top 10. We are, as I stated, we had Alabama, Georgia, LSU, Auburn, and Florida all in the top 10. So the SEC already is showing that they are the dominant conference in college football. The Big Ten does have 2. They have Ohio State and Michigan in the top 10. But outside of that, the SEC is dominating. So you have to wonder, again, when it's all said and done, how many SEC teams will get in the playoffs. They could possibly sneak 2 in there, as they've done before. But we'll see. Everything changes week to week. LSU happened to move up to number 4 because they defeated Texas. So Texas fell out of the top 10. But again, the SEC schools, some of these teams play one another, so it will not be 5 SEC teams throughout the season because eventually they're going to bump one another off. But again, it looks like Clemson and Alabama are clear-cut favorites to meet in the championship. Just let me know what you guys think about that in regards to how college football seems to be shaping up after 2 weeks. I know it's early, but some of you may already have your pre-existing thoughts of who's going to meet in the championship. I already myself assumed it's probably going to be Alabama and Clemson meeting again in the championship. So I'm just kind of preparing myself for that until it actually happens. But again, I will always give my predictions each week in regards to who the top 4 is. I still think it's going to be Clemson, Alabama, Oklahoma, and Michigan. However, just another bad performance from Michigan. If they have one next week or in 2 weeks, then my predictions will definitely change. I will basically also conclude that they may not even beat Ohio State. They may lose to them for like 11 straight, or how many straight times they lost to Ohio State, but they have not beaten them in a while. So anyway, but college football, again, is in full swing. We're 2 weeks in, so we'll see what's going to happen with that. So let me know what you think about that. Let's go over to the NFL. The NFL had a lot of performances here that we need to get to. Well, there's two in particular I want to talk about. Dak Prescott and Lamar Jackson both had outstanding games and blowout victories. We'll just go to Lamar Jackson first. He had 5 touchdown passes with a passer rating of 158.3. He completed 17 out of 20 passes for 324 yards. Now, Lamar Jackson was labeled as a running quarterback. He didn't really take those comments about him or grades about him that he was not a passer. So he proved everybody wrong this past Sunday. I know it was against the Miami Dolphins, who are pretty much on a rebuild, but still, you cannot knock his performance. Dak Prescott, who is trying to get a contract deal done with the Cowboys, showed against the Giants again, just like the Miami Dolphins. The Giants are not that good. So the Giants are on the rebuild as well, but you still cannot knock the performance of Dak Prescott, who threw for 4 touchdown passes, 405 yards. He completed 25 of 32 passes. He also had a 158.3 passer rating. So does that mean that the Dallas Cowboys and Baltimore Ravens are going to meet in the Super Bowl? I don't know. It's still early. I think New England has a lot to say about Baltimore's fate as well as Kansas City. I also think in the NFC that the Philadelphia Eagles has something to say about who's going to win that division. The Rams also can speak loudly about that because they beat the Cowboys in the playoffs last year. So the Rams would beg to differ. Mr. Aaron Rodgers with the Packers would beg to differ as well. We all know his history against the Cowboys and how he's broke their backs and devastated their hopes in the past. So just let me know what you think about Dak Prescott. I know a lot of Cowboy fans out there are excited right now and jumping up and down. Ezekiel Elliott had a good game. The Cowboys had a complete game all around. But again, it was against the New York Giants. So let's not, pencil them into the Super Bowl right away. Kyler Murray, I want to get to him because Kyler Murray, of course, was the quarterback who won the Heisman last year. And Kyler Murray he struggled at the beginning, but then he ended up having a good game. He completed 29 of 54 pass attempts. He had 308 yards and 2 touchdowns. Most of those came in the fourth quarter, remarkably. In the tie against the Detroit Lions. He did have 1 interception early in the game. His passer rating ended up being 75.2. But Kyler Murray, he had a pretty good debut. He showed some flashes in that game. He also made some mistakes. But again, the rookie did good. We'll see how it goes because he is in a tough division with the Seattle Seahawks and Russell Wilson he has to deal with. He has to deal with the LA Rams with Jared Goff and Aaron Donald. So, they're going to be a little bit tougher than what the Detroit Lions presented to him this past Sunday. My picks, I was 11 wins, 4 losses, and a tie. So I did pretty good on my picks. I will do a video later on about my picks for week 2, starting with the Thursday night game in which the Tampa Bay Buccaneers visit the Carolina Panthers. Big shout out, by the way, to my man Seth from Seth's Smorgasbord of Sports for the support and shout out that he gave to me on his video. The link to his channel will be in the description. So go support Seth. He's very knowledgeable about sports and he's very passionate. Continue to view all my social media outlets for the latest news, notes, and latest sports updates and breaking news.